Hey, good afternoon, class. My name is Joshua Thomas, and I am a senior here at Jacksonville State University, majoring in pre-health professional biology. And today, I'm here to talk to you all about a well-known fungus called the wingworm. Scientists might know it as tinea. Okay. Starting off, the ringworm is basically one of the most common skin infections in the United States, and it's caused by a fungus. And it's funny because the name comes from its appearance. It comes from a circular shape on the skin, and it's shaped like a ring, and it's also red. Anyone can get it: moms, dads, kids, children, animals, pets. Anyone is susceptible to catch this fungus. Furthermore, I wanted to go into the locations of the ringworm. So they can grow anywhere in your hair, your arm, leg, it does not matter. The ringworm can get anywhere, and they have different names depending on what location is located on your body. So we're going to start off with the feet. And a lot of people might know this as athlete's foot, and it can get in between the athlete's toenails and in between the toes. Next, we have the growing, and that's called jock's itch, and that is probably the most disgusting type of ringworm. And the scalp, tinea capitis; the beard, tinea barbae; hands is tinea magnum; and arms and legs are known as tinea corpus. Furthermore, we're going to go into the science of the ringworm, or tinea, whichever one you would like to prefer. And there are 40 different types of a species for the ringworm, and there are three scientific names that I like to tell you all about today. One is the trichophyton, there is mycosporum, and there's epidermophyton. Those words are a mouthful. Furthermore, I would like to go into the symptoms. So you'll know in about 4 to 14 days whether you have the ringworm or not. It takes about that long once you come in contact with someone, 4 to 14 days, for those symptoms to show. And those symptoms would include itchy skin, ring-shaped rashes, and then they'll be real scratchy and scaly, and you can definitely tell. And they can also, if it gets in your hair, it can make you lose hair. And I have a couple pictures for you all today. And so the first picture is the back. And as you can see, there's one big circle and there's many little circles around it, which are red, and these can tend to be very itchy and scratchy. So that's how you know if it's a ringworm. Next, we have a ringworm that is located on the foot. Earlier, I mentioned that this is also known as athlete's foot. And typically, you'll see athlete's foot that is either in between the toes or under the toenail. But this picture shows at the bottom of the foot. And the next area that we have is the growing area, or the inner thighs, or the butt area. And this ringworm is known as the jock's itch. And basically, the jock itch comes from athletes, mainly maybe football players, baseball players who wear girdles, and these are the dirty players who don't go home and wash their practice gear or game gear. So that's how they get the jock itch. And so now I'm going to go into the risk and prevention part of getting the ringworm. And so basically, to prevent yourself from getting this fungus, is the basic cleaning techniques your mother, father, grandma, whoever raised you, have taught you, as in washing your hands daily, changing your undergarments every day, changing your clothes every day, and not sharing personal items. Combs, brushes, do-rags, hair ties, that can also increase the spread of the ringworm. And like I said earlier, anyone is able to catch the ringworm, especially pets and children, because they're the people that like to people or animals that like to touch people and be around and on people the most. And it's most common for dogs, cats, and kittens when it comes to animals. But when it comes to farm animals or bigger animals, pigs, goats, and cows can also catch ringworms. And it's easy to transfer a ringworm from a pet to the owner. So the proper steps would be to check first to see if your animal has the ringworm and immediately take them to the vet so they can get diagnosed. And if you have multiple pets in that household, if one has ringworm, you should get all of the pets checked. That's how easy of a transfer the ringworm is. And furthermore, I have information, or I read up on information that health professionals have decided to give us, like from the CDC and other government agencies. And basically, the tinea can spread from different parts of the body. And an example of that, say for instance, you have the ringworm in your hair, and that was known as the tinea capitis. Once you have the tinea capitis, that can also spread to the tinea magnum, which is also known in the hands. Even if you don't scratch your hair, it can transmit through your all's body. Um, it's also very similar to what's going on now, Corona and the COVID, because some people can be asymptomatic when it comes to the ringworm, but they still can spread the tinea. And that's very scary. So that's why I stress the washing of the hands and doing the laundry and just staying clean as a whole. Furthermore, there is certain ways that doctors and scientists test for the ringworm. It's a test called the KOH staining test, and for those people that did not take chemistry, I guess that's the potassium hydroxide staining. This staining has a couple procedures, and so when it comes to the KOH staining, first you have to scrape off or use a utensil to scrape off the lesion or the area of the ringworm. And so once you scrape this off, you collect it. Once you grab that piece of skin or piece of layer, whatever you scraped off, that piece will be inserted into a potassium hydroxide solution. So what the potassium hydroxide solution does, it kills all cells except for fungal cells. So fungal cells are isolated, which we can view under the microscope, as you can see right here. This image shows the detailed description underneath the microscope of what you expect to see when it comes to testing the ringworm or conducting the potassium hydroxide staining test. There are other tests such as the wood lamp examination, there's stain wet mount, and also biopsy with special different stains. And the best part of this, yes, ringworms can be treated. And you can go to, sometimes you don't even have to go to the doctor. Sometimes you can get over-the-counter creams, powders, and most of those work for the basic locations on your body when it comes to the ringworm. Only spot on the body where I recommend you go see a doctor and actually get prescribed medicine is if you have a ringworm in your head area. And this is because creams, lotions, and powders do not work when it comes to your head area. And basically, if anybody remember what I said earlier, the head area was also known as the tinea capitis, so remember that. And for you to get rid of the tinea capitis, go to the doctor and they might prescribe you medicine that you have to take from up to 1 to 3 months. And this medicine will be like, let's see, it'll be the most common one will say griseofulin. That would be the most common over the counter, not over the counter, but prescribed 1 to 3 month pill that you'll take for the scalp ringworm. And the over the counter medicines that you would take would be like citric acid clear or Zolin. And that would be the end of my presentation. And I would like to appreciate you all for listening. And Please give me feedback, comments, criticism, and I appreciate it all. Thank you.